of the Opposition.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all his statements as Prime Minister on industrial relations?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, why did he say yesterday at his post-cab press conference that under the 90-day scheme, employers have to give a reason for dismissal when the 90-day law that he has already put in place explicitly takes away from the employer the requirement to give a reason and to allow the employee being dismissed to comment on that reason?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, because I believe the statement I made yesterday to be correct, that is because the 90-day period,
Order.
Nice haircut. Nice haircut. Okay, let's get back to the 90-day probation. Don't blush, Jazza.
Order. Oh, no, order. I'm on my feet. The Leader of the Opposition asked a question that the Prime Minister appeared to be prepared to answer, and I think the interjections aren't really assisting with the answer. The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, so we'll start at the beginning again. Yes, because I believe it to be correct, and the reason for that is within the 90-day period, the provisions of good faith still apply. And the concept of good faith, well, you can hear the answer if you want to, and not if you don't, I won't bother.
Supplementary point of order, Mr Speaker.
Point of order. Order. A point of order has been called.
Mr Speaker, I seek leave to table two documents. One, a statement by the Prime Minister saying that you have to give a good reason, and the second is the Act itself annotated to show that explicitly the employer is exempted from the requirement to give a good reason.
Order. Now, look, both these documents are readily available to members. One is a piece of statute which is available to all members, and the other is a statement the Prime Minister made yesterday, which again is a press statement, so I'm not about to seek that leave from the House. Supplementary question, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Why are employers, according to the Employment Relations Act, as set out in the statutes of this House, why are employees under that Act denied natural justice by being able to be dismissed without good reason and without being able to challenge the decision?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, we'll have another go at giving the answer, which is the 90-day period is covered by good faith provisions. The concept of good faith requires an employer to be communicative. It is reasonable to expect that that includes giving a basic reason. However, there's no requirement for a formal written reason.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Question, Mr Speaker. What protection is there under the 90-day law to stop a bad employer sacking an employee without good reason, so depriving them of their livelihood and leaving them with a blemish on their employment record?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, because you have to honour the provisions of good faith, and an employee could take a good faith case.
Supplementary to the Prime Minister. What reports has the Prime Minister received on support for the 90-day policy from those who are marginalised in the job market?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I've seen a report of the case of Sanjay from Pizza Hut, who's been delivering pizzas, as it turns out, to my house for about a year. He has a master's degree in zoology, and in India he worked in television, education and health. He supports the policy and is just the sort of person this policy is designed to help.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, why did the Prime Minister claim that the 90-day law creates extra jobs for disadvantaged job seekers when the Department of Labour report that he released on Saturday actually says that can't be demonstrated and says to the contrary, quote, very few employees use the trial period for the purpose of giving a job to disadvantaged job seekers?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, because the same report quite clearly says, and I quote, it showed that 40% of employers stated they would not or were not likely to have hired that person without the trial period.
Question number 5, David. I beg your pardon, is supplementary question or point of order?
Supplementary.
The Honourable Rodney Hyde.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Sorry?
Order. The member should just ask his question.
My question is to the Prime Minister, Mr Speaker. What does it say about the broad acceptance of this government's employment law changes when the position of Phil Goff in opposition is supported by former Alliance Party strategist Matt McCartan, former Green MP Sue Bradford, professional protester John Minto, especially when these veteran protesters from the 1970s couldn't even find the right building in which to finally start their long-hoped-for class war.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I suspect it says if they're not good at navigation, they shouldn't give up their job as serial protesters and become taxi drivers because they won't last the 90 days.
Question number 5, David.